Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. It's been over 3 years that I come in front of you with my editorial. Almost three years, 3.5 years. And in these 3 years that I have been doing this, I have never been so confused. In fact, today I was quite confused as to what topic should I be choosing to come and present to you. What should I be talking about? There are so many things to talk about. I was wondering, should I be talking about the PM Care funds? Where are those funds? Why are we not seeing that funds? Why is Prime Minister not telling us where he has put that funds? Doesn't India have the right, or Indians, don't we have the right to know? I thought I will talk about that topic. But then I thought, I should also talk about what's happening in the Kumbh Mela, what happened in the Kumbh Mela. 20 odd lakh people in this peak of Corona. The second wave seems to be more dangerous than the first. In this peak of Corona, 20 lakh people. But then same happening in political election rallies. The topic I discussed yesterday. You see, when I was putting my thoughts together, another thought came to mind. And I thought that was possibly the most overriding thought of all. Why do we listen to politicians? Why are we like herds? Why don't we have a thought of our own? Why do we listen to a politician when he says that "Arey kuch nahi hoga, Ganga Mata bacha degi"? The Lord Ganges, Mother Ganges will save you from Corona. We listen to him. We go after our political leaders when they say, "Oh, I am going to make a huge statue, and I am going to make a bigger statue, and I am going to make a bigger statue." Nobody spoke to us about hospitals. They were speaking about statues, and we were supporting them. So the question I was asking myself is, end of the day, in today's presentation also, I am going to say that, okay, the politicians have been cheating us, the politicians have been misguiding us, and so on and so forth. But then I was actually rethinking, are the politician misguiding us, or are we fools? What is reality? It's always easy to blame. Usne kiya yaar. It is always easy to blame. And today, I'm going to discuss that. Let's get right into the show. So I received a message from a very dear friend of mine. This dear friend of mine stays in South Africa. His name is Fred Whites. He stays in South Africa, and in one of his messages, he had sent me an article wherein he spoke about this university in South Africa where a professor had written a message for his students. And this message was put outside this university. This message was actually printed and they have put it outside the university. And it's a beautiful message. And I'm going to read that message out for you, and then we'll get into the topic. So this professor wrote that collapse of a nation does not necessarily require an atomic bomb. You don't require an atomic bomb for collapse of the nation. All it requires is lowering the quality of education and allowing cheating in the exams. Or in our case, a lot of fake degrees that has been floating around. All that it takes is lowering the quality of education. A very simple thing, and see the way he has put it. He wrote, patients die in the hands of doctors who have passed exams cheating. He says buildings collapse. Buildings built by engineers who pass their exams cheating collapse. Money is lost by an accountant who passed his examination cheating. Humanity dies due to religious scholars who passed exams by cheating. Humanity dies. He says justice is miscarried by judges who pass exams by cheating. He says ignorance is rampant in the minds of children who are under the care of teachers who passed their examination cheating. So he says when your education is gone, when your justice is gone, when your legal process is destroyed, when your accounting process is destroyed, your economic process is destroyed, your medical process is destroyed, your infrastructure is destroyed, what is left of the nation? The nation is collapsed. Finished. The nation is over. But this got me thinking. You know why this got me thinking? This got me thinking is because I was wondering, look at any manifestos, any political party's manifesto, and tell me how much prominence do these political parties give education. Prominence are given to mandir and to masjids and to statues. But these political parties don't give prominence to education. No political party, prime minister, prime ministerial candidate or whoever has stood and said that, listen, you know what, I am going to ensure that every child in this country will be educated. I am going to ensure that more IIMs, more IITs, more NITs will be built. And I am sure if possibly these guys would have said it, maybe we wouldn't have even voted for them. I don't know. So this is my question. Who should we blame? Should we blame the politicians who is misguiding us and saying that they are misguiding us? Or should we blame ourselves because we are fools? I mean, how many people would want to even listen to what I am saying because I am talking about education, the state of education of India? I mean, therefore, we have people sitting and saying that, okay, Ganga Mata bacha degi. Mother Ganges will save you. Don't worry, she will save you from corona. You have ministers saying like that. Take any problem that we are talking about and you can directly link it to education exactly like this professor from South Africa said. Talk about economics, talk about medicine, talk about infrastructure. To excel in any of these, we require people who are phenomenally educated. More educated people, more universities, more colleges, more professional colleges. You have more doctors, more engineers, more scientists, more professionals. Therefore, stronger country. We are busy bothered about घर में घुस के मारेंगे, निकाल के करेंगे, उसको उठाएंगे, बिठाएंगे. This is what we are bothered about. When have we actually sit down and spoken and said, listen, you know what? हम education पे तवज्जो देंगे. Education पे we will focus on. How many discussions, how many speeches have we heard? And do you think that we will even enjoy speeches where if somebody says, you know what, the education requirement for India is X amount of money and we are going to increase it by 4.3% and therefore we are going to come to a national average or an international average in education. Those people who are standing in front of that politician will turn back and go, "Kya baat karta hai ye?" So I want to again ask, who are we blaming? Are we blaming the politician or should we be blaming ourselves? I'll come to some facts and figures. Our national average for the percentage of money that we spend versus our GDP, the percentage of money that we spend on education is around 2.8% in 2014-15, 2.8% 15-16, 2.8% 16-17, 2.8% 17-18, 3.1% 18-19, 3.1% 19-20. So it's an average of around 2.8 to 3.1%. Countries like America spend 5% of their GDP. Their GDP. So look at their GDP, look at their population, and they spend 5% of their GDP on education. Countries like South Africa, the same country which we are talking about, spends around 6.2%. Cuba spends around 12.9%. Countries like Australia spends around 5.8%, Israel 5.8%, Australia spends 5.3%, my apologies. New Zealand spends around 6.4%, and that's precisely why you get better administrator from that country, you see better administration in that country, you see better lifestyle in that country, you see better infrastructure in that country, you see better healthcare in that country. Because people are educated. There is impetus given on education. Our Niti Ayog it themselves had said that we should be spending around 6 to 6.5% on education. This is something that our Niti Ayog had recommended, 6.5% of the GDP, wherein we are spending around 3%, half of what they say, 3.2% or whatever. And this is the status. And possibly none of us are even interested. Possibly most of us won't even want to listen to this topic because it doesn't deal with any scams or any sensationalism. It's a straight topic. It's education. So that's the point I was trying to make. I wish we spoke about education. I wish we had discussion on education, debate on the spends that we do on education. But somewhere down the line, we still seems to be talking about Mother Ganges saving us from corona and building statues to make our country greater. Think about it. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free. Because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.